with one of the two major Thracian tribes gone, we could finally get a bit of breathing room. Except the Odryssian kingdom, who seem to be quite mad at us, have something else planned. Two of their armies are currently moving towards Pulpadiva. Thanks Zeus, our reinforcements have arrived. If not, we might have been in deep trouble. A rebellion was growing in Antioch, so I ordered Orodoes, the one who led the reinforcements to us, to march over there and deal with them. With whatever forces he still had under his command, he extinguished their scarce, annoying sparks. My fleet would prepare to block Pella and potentially invade it if an opportunity arrives. I also had to be wary of demonic beings to our west, as they have crushed the city-state of Athens and stolen Athena Parthenon. Maybe we could retrieve it at some point and restore Hellenic honor to the world. But for now, we have to focus on the ones threatening our very existence. I marched my royal guard up next to the barbarian army, encamping as close as possible, hoping it would provoke them enough to engage us. And with that, the war had begun. I honestly imagined they would make a counter move during that next month, but no. Instead, the rebellion made a foolish attempt, resulting in them fleeing to Odysseus. And then, it came to my mind why the Odryssians were so quiet. They had been regrouping for a massive strike against my encampment. I didn't have time to escape without making my situation worse. We had to hold our ground. Orodoes, the Odryssian Warchief, stepped forward shouting,
"We meet at last, Eumenes, grandson of Alexander. You can relax, my famous friend. I won't dare to kill you yet. Once I capture you, I'll just make you suffer for a week first. Just like we did with Antigonus Gonatus."
If he dared to speak to us like that, our spears should do the talking for us. The Thracian king didn't seem to have a proper plan of attack as he rushed straight into our pikemen. I saw this as an opportunity to hunt down his cavalry, so I could bring out a second force to hit them from the flank. Once the remaining Thracian soldiers were engaged, my archers returned to hit them from behind, forcing them to surrender. The arrogant Warchief escaped, but the same could not be said for most of his men. Backing our own province, I demanded our nation to be much more centralized. All of our income should come from Asia alone, while the neighboring province of Galatia and Cappadocia will bring most of the food. Hopefully, our situation could become even better. If only the Ptolemies gave us Ephesus. We should have captured it while we still had the chance. Still, I feel bad for being mean to them. They keep giving us generous gifts to invest in our kingdom, Surprisingly, to be honest, as we still don't have our rightful title of heir. No matter, as we spend it on slave traders, fully knowing the Ptolemies will be sold there at some point in the future. Ironic. But for now, it's only the Thracians. Speaking of Thracians, let us return to the warfront. Finally, we had arrived at Nissos. Once my army entered the settlement, resistance halted. Before I could give any command to my men, they rushed forward to sack the town. But we eventually returned, liberating them, and delighted by our deeds, the newly formed Dardanoi were willing to become a client state for a bit of gold and access to our trade routes. A reasonable offer in my opinion. This way I could satisfy the citizens of Pergamon while still growing our influence in Thrace.
Our word trade is now ended, and I will accept your proposal. Come to the ale.
The same happened at Odysseus, where Eumenes liberated the town and client-stated them. This left Pella as the last settlement under Odryssian control. But thanks to our skilled fighters, we finally captured the former settlement of the Macedonian pretenders and the home of my ancestors. While scouting the battlefield, one of my men found a message buried under a Greek messenger. It appears he never could deliver it. Written by Antigonus Gonatas, it stated,
"To Antiochus, ruler of the Seleucids, I was wrong. Eumenes must be the rightful ruler. After all, why would he attempt to save Macedon in its most dire need? My position is contested and I fear my life is coming to an end. If I fall, I plead that you may support Eumenes no matter what. Antigonus Gonatas of Macedon."
Although I achieved more joy by reading this letter than anything else in the world, I was filled with dread. We are literally within touching distance of Hades' monsters. I began to doubt myself. Could the rumors be true of them being sent to destroy anything touched by Alexander? I couldn't take the risk. Pella needed to become a fortress strong enough to keep anyone at bay. But a simplistic garrison wouldn't be enough. We required a proper army stationed there at all times, guarding our territory, while Eumenes and I returned back to Pergamon. The militia would be based on our newly reformed Thorio units, our highest skilled soldiers at a settlement at highest priority. What could go wrong? Once I returned home, it was finally time to make a new plan. As great as the reward may be, I'm extremely against engaging godly beings like the ones to the west. They might hold two tactics at Athens and Taras, as well as the Oracle of Delphi and the entrance to the underworld, but their armies are vast, with an endless supply of manpower from fallen soldiers. There are even rumors among my men stating Achilles himself is leading one of their armies. But if not them, we could seek an audience with the Seleucids. By delivering the letter we just found, an alliance could be made. Yet I don't know how to feel about this. They did torment the Pergamonian kingdom for generations. I'm not sure if I can forgive them for that. Also, we are allied with the Ptolemies, and the Seleucids and Ptolemies, they are age-old enemies. That could create problems for us, but yet again, it could keep the status quo. Orodoes, the Odryssian Warchief, is also out there somewhere. Maybe he is seeking refuge in the east. Only Apollon may know if we will see him again. Hopefully, my advisors can bring their heads together and figure out a great strategy. That is it from this chapter. As you see this video, I've returned from my final vacation of the summer. This means I will at last be able to focus a lot more on creating decent content for you guys. But with that said, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Until the next time everybody. Goodbye and spread happiness.
can relax, my famous friend. I won't dare to kill you yet. I'll just make you record these fucking lines over and over again with a stupid laugh at the end.